Alright boys and girls, I hope you're all having a lovely day. So today guys, we have got some more CeX pickups. You know how it goes by now. So I know what some of you guys are probably thinking, like, Majel, you said you weren't going to CeX for the rest of the month, and here you are with hundreds of pounds worth of pickups. Like, what the hell is going on? Well, here's the thing boys, I have kind of cheated the system a little bit. I have literally got a bag full of CeX pickups, but none of these were picked up this month. All these games I've picked up, I bought at just the most random times. Some of it I bought last month, some of it I bought the month before, but I've had some of these pickups since like March, alright? That's how long I've had them, and they've just been sat in a bag doing nothing. And quite a few of my pickups that I hadn't shown you guys yet just happened to be horror games, and I just thought to myself last month, why don't I do a big horror game CeX haul? Because I've got so many of them now. And after that, I ended up finding a few more little horror games, and yeah, I just figured I'd combine them all into a really cool CeX haul. So yeah, I've got some really cool games in here, guys. There's not actually that many. It's a lot of heavy stuff. Like, some of these games are really expensive. But yeah, before we dive into all of that, guys, I do want to get a little bit of an opinion from you all, because I've come up with a video idea series that I want to know if you guys would like or not. So I've been thinking a lot about, you know, this like whole channel, and essentially what it is me sitting here buying games, showing you guys, and that's kind of it. And I like doing that. I mean, who doesn't? And the problem is, boys, is I've got a lot of games, all right, and I keep just buying more, and I play them, don't get me wrong, they're not just sitting there. I do play my games, but I do buy a lot. This isn't even all of my games. I've got that shelf there, I've got this shelf here as well, and it's like mostly double stacked. I've got a lot of stuff to get through. I've got a ridiculous backlog, but that's not even all of my games. I've got even more downstairs. Like, I've just got so many games at this point, and I want to start playing them a bit more. And on average, I probably play through and beat around about 6 games a month, and obviously I combine all of that and talk about them in games I played. That's the series for that. But in my opinion, those are rookie numbers, alright? I want to up those numbers a little bit, and I want to make it into a bit of a series. On average, I would love to complete, I don't know, 8 or 9 games a month. I feel like I could then start getting through my backlog a bit more, especially if I like slow down on the pickups a little bit. Because how it goes at the minute is I play through, yeah, 6 or 7 games, but I buy 20. So all I'm doing is making a ridiculous backlog. So I've come up with a little idea, guys, and like I said, if it's a stupid idea, let me know. But my idea is to make a series called Battle of the Backlog. And what I was thinking of doing is going through my entire collection and picking off games that are really short. I'm not going to be picking up RPGs, I'm not going to be playing Final Fantasies and, you know, what have you. It's going to be like 2 to 3 hour games. I've got quite a few short games, especially on like the PS2 and PS3, because, you know, games were just a bit shorter back then. Nowadays, you know, on like the PS5 and PS4, you know, games are minimum 20 hours half the time. So anyway, I'm going to go through my collection, I'm going to pick out some really short games, and I'm just going to do a series on playing those games. So I was thinking about just dedicating a week to playing through really short games and seeing how many I can complete in a week per episode. And I'll probably do these episodes every month or 2, I don't know how often, just it kind of depends how much you enjoy it. And yeah, I don't know how exactly I'm going to do it, whether I do it in a sort of documentary style. I don't think it won't quite work with it, but yeah, I'll just sort of make it jazzy and fun. I'm not just going to sit there playing games and it be boring. It will be fun the way that I edit it. And yeah, I just figured it'd be a good way to start getting through my backlog a little bit, because, you know, this channel is all about the pickups, and I want it to be pickups still, but I also want it to be about playing games. And there's so many channels these days that just focus on the pickups and not so much on the gaming, and it just feels like there has to be a balance, because otherwise you might as well collect coins or paper airplanes or something. There's no point collecting loads of games you're not going to play. So yeah, I want to try and get a bit more balance on this channel. Obviously, I still do the 24-hour videos, which I really enjoy, and I'm always going to do games I played, but if I did Battle of the Backlog as well, I feel like we'd have a really good balance of playing games and buying them. So anyway, let us know in the comments, boys, if that's a good idea or not. If it's bad, we'll come up with something else. Anyway, fellas, I've wasted enough of your time. Let's dive into the pickups, and we'll start off with the cheap stuff and kind of work our way upwards. See, I haven't really played any of these games except for one of them. There's only one game in this lot that I've actually played, and funnily enough, it's also the cheapest of all my pickups. It was very cheap, but it was good. I did enjoy this one. Anyway, that game is going to be Until Dawn Rush of Blood. See, I picked this one up quite a while ago. I bought it like literally when I got my VR, which is around sort of February, March time, and yeah, like I said, I've had these pickups for a long time, and yeah, I have actually played through this one. I played it with my older brother because he stayed around for a weekend and we played it together, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know if he enjoyed it. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I was maybe expecting it to be a little bit scarier, because I remember when this came out, like, people were glazing it, saying how freaking horrifying it was, and at first, it was scary, genuinely. Like, the first few levels, I was like, wow, this is, you know, it felt like real life, you know, with the VR headset. But after a couple levels, you do kind of get used to it, and yeah, it's, the novelty sort of wears off after a while. Thankfully, it's not like the longest game in the world, because if this was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours long, it would get really boring. You can easily complete this game in a couple hours. It's not particularly long at all, and yeah, it's just a good little blast. You have the VR headset, and you got like pistols, and you're on like a train track, and you're shooting stuff. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite VR game of all time, but I did quite enjoy it, and it does kind of remind me as well that I need to get my VR headset out and start playing it again, because I haven't used it in quite a while. But yeah, Until Dawn Rush of Blood, it's alright. Alright guys, this next one is one that I'm really excited to play. I'm going to be playing this one soon, I think, and that game is going to be Tormented Souls. So I'm trying to remember when I picked this one up. It was quite a while ago. In fact, lads, I've got the receipt here, which it should have the date, so that'll tell me exactly when I bought this. Let's have a quick little look. 24th of the 4th. So I bought this all the way back in April. I also bought another game that I need to show you guys. I won't spoil what that is, but I'll show you guys quickly. I've got a whole bag of CeX pickups. Like, this is filled with games that I haven't shown you yet. That's the trouble with all these pickups videos, is I do so many of them that I've just got too many games to bloody talk about, and I don't have time to go through them all. Worst thing is, as well, is next month we got the London gaming market, so there's going to be even more pickups. It's too much, boys. I buy too many games. I need to slow it down. But yeah, Tormented Souls is a game I really, really want to check out. It looks like a combination of Silent Hill and old school Resident Evil, so I mean, that just speaks to my soul. I don't know if it's particularly scary or not, but I've heard very good things about it. It's classic survival horror, you know, it doesn't try to be anything else. Gameplay looks really cool. I don't think it's the longest game in the world, so yeah, it's kind of perfect. I wish that I had time to play it this month, but I've just, you know, I've got too many games to crack on with at the minute. I'm still playing through Maximo, absolutely loving that game. It's so good. I'm so glad I played that for that 24-hour video, because I've unearthed probably one of my favorite PS2 games ever. So yeah, Tormented Souls, I'm going to check that one out soon, and I very much look forward to it. Okay, boys, this is actually a fairly recent pickup. I bought this a couple weeks ago in my local CeX. It just looked interesting. I don't know too much about the gameplay. I actually don't know anything about it, but I looked at the back and the front, and it looks cool, and it was cheap as well, and that is, what's it called? Absolver, End of Gods. I mean, come on, that's one of the coolest game titles of, like, just ever. Like, that just sounds incredible. And yeah, it was super cheap at 12 quid as well. Speak of the devil, cheap. I didn't even mention Tormented Souls being 8 quid. Like, how the frick are we getting PS5 games for that kind of money? That's crazy. Especially survival horror, because survival horror is notoriously expensive. But yeah, Absolver looks really cool, guys. The back looks fantastic, if you can see. I don't know how good my autofocus is going to be, but it looks really cool. I was reading the back as well, and it says here, steeped in Norse mythology, award-winning Absolver is a survival horror and sci-fi adventure unlike anything you've ever experienced. So, I mean, that just sounds great, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to be playing that one. I'm not going to say it's immediately on the backlog, but it's certainly on the radar, and I very much look forward to that. Alright guys, so we've actually only got 5 games remaining, but the rest of the games here are like pretty expensive. These are all £30 and upwards. I think they were anyway. I'm pretty sure everything here is... There might be one that's under 30 quid. I can't remember. But yeah, a couple of them are sort of CeX roulettes. They're not really roulettes because I have opened them. But yeah, a couple of games I did order from CeX. And then the last 3 are all PS2 games, and they're expensive. We'll save that for the end. Alright guys, so let's start off with this one. This is going to be a PlayStation Vita game, and I bought this because I thought I was going to be going to Scotland this month. My dad was saying that he wanted to go to Scotland, so we were kind of planning a trip to go up there this October. But unfortunately, you know, work kind of got in the way, and we never ended up going. So in the end, I've not actually had a chance to play it. But anyway, the game that I picked up was Yomawari Night Alone. So yeah, I saw this on the CeX website, and I looked at eBay prices, and it was a lot cheaper at CeX than it was on eBay, and it seemed quite rare. What's also cool about it is it's a double game again, which I really like these. I bought another one of these double games where it's 2 games in one the other week. That was for the Switch though. So yeah, you can kind of choose the game you want the cover for. I've gone with Yomawari, but there is this other one. I don't even know what that's called. HTO Ling Nick Firefly Diary. I don't know what the hell that is. It looks cool though. But yeah, as you guys know, I'm a big collector of the PlayStation Vita. I absolutely adore the console. It's just, I mean, it's just the best. I freaking love it. Every game for it is just incredibly rare and obscure, but it just makes collecting for it so fun. You never really know what you're gonna get. And in terms of this one, I don't know too much about it. It's got a really sort of cute looking art style, but it looks also quite scary at the same time. It's got like a pretty cool atmosphere, just from looking at it on YouTube. I don't think this is the longest game in the world, so you never know, boys. I might even add that to my little Battle of the Backlog series. I might give that a go. So yeah, looking forward to playing Yomawari. It looks like an absolute blast, so yeah, look forward to that. Alright guys, so everything I've mentioned before, I've said, oh, I don't know much about this one. This one, I genuinely know nothing about. I'm not even 100% sure that it's a bloody horror game. I think it is, but I actually don't know. It's certainly got a sort of Halloween vibe to it. Whether or not it's an official horror game, I don't really know, but it looks like a horror game. So yeah, that game is gonna be Folklore. So yeah, this is a game I've wanted for a while because it looks cool. Like, that's just, I've always looked at it and thought, wow, that does look really cool. But in terms of what it is, I actually haven't got a bloody clue. The version I got here is in really nice condition. It's got the manual, and it's like literally mint condition, the manual. And the disc, as far as I remember, is also in super nice condition. Yeah, it's literally, I mean, it's clean as, mate. You can bloody see our reflection in that. You can see the camera. Yeah, in terms of, like, gameplay and stuff, I'm not 100% sure. I think it might be, like, a horror game RPG, I think, but I could be totally wrong about that. But yeah, I wanted to pick this one up sooner rather than later, because I do feel like we're gonna be getting a PlayStation 3 boom, like, very soon. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I just feel like as soon as that PlayStation 3 store closes, the games are gonna start going through the roof. And Folklore used to be a lot more expensive. This was like a £50 game at one point, and I saw it for 35 quid, so I just ordered it because, again, I feel like it will go up in price. Don't quote me on that, boys. It will probably go down in price now that I've said that, but yeah, it just looked cool. Pretty sure it's a horror game, but I might be wrong. If you guys have played it, let me know. One way or another, though, it looks great, and I definitely want to play that one soon. Okay then, boys and girls, let's get on to the big boys. So each one of these games in here is a heavy hitter, okay? And I've wanted to talk about these games for so long, and I was just trying to find the right time to do it. I bought all 3 of these games on the same day, and I spent a lot of money. I went through quite a lot of vouchers, and this was all the way back in March. YouTube was going a lot better back in March. You know, I had some money in my pocket, so I didn't feel so guilty about spending so much money on these 3 games. So yeah, without further ado then, guys, let's stop hyping you up. Let's go through them, and we'll start off with the cheapest one, but I actually think out of the 3 of them, this is the one that I'm most excited about. Now, I've wanted this game for so long, but it just kept creeping up in price, and I was just trying to get it for a good price. In the end, I just paid the CeX price. I just thought, let's just get it in the collection and be done with it. Anyway, that game is gonna be Project Zero. I've wanted this for ages. Yeah, for those who don't know, this game goes by another name in the US. This is actually Fatal Frame, but for some reason, it's called Project Zero over here. And yeah, it looks really cool, guys. In terms of horror and atmosphere, this is well up my street. It looks absolutely just horrifying, and it's exactly what I wanted in my life. I just cannot wait to play this. Condition-wise, it's absolutely mint, guys. Like, the manual is perfect. It looks really good. I haven't tested this one out, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. It doesn't seem to have any scratches on it, so I think we're good there. The artwork and the case are in really good condition, so yeah, I'm very happy with that. And I can't remember how much I paid. I want to say I paid 50, but I might have paid 55. I might have to look it up, to be honest with you. So yeah, I definitely cannot wait to play through this one. I'm going to be playing it soon, hopefully. Might even try and get some time and play it in November. And yeah, there's quite a few of these Project Zero games. I think there's 2 more on the PS2, and one of those games is actually going to get a remake. So I might wait for the remake for Project Zero 2. I might just get the PS2 version. I don't know. Let me know, guys. Shall I get the PS2 one, or shall I wait for the remake? But yeah, there's a couple others as well. There's one called Maiden of Black or something like that, which looks really cool. You can get on the Switch, so I might get that soon. And there might be a couple others, but yeah, it's a really cool looking series where you basically take pictures of ghosts. It looks great. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks really cool. So happy to get that. Next up, fellas, we have got ourselves a Capcom game, and it's pretty rare. You don't see it too often, or at least I don't. And it's expensive. Okay, it's a very expensive game, and that is going to be Clock Tower 3. So yeah, I saw this in there on the same day that I saw this one, and I saw the other one in here, which is even more expensive. So I saw all three of these horror games in my local CEX, and I was like, I'm just gonna get all three because they were in really nice condition, and I've wanted all three games, and like I said, I had the money at the time and the vouchers. But yeah, out of the three games, I think this is probably in the worst condition. It's not bad or anything, but there is a little bit of a creasing on the top of the manual there, so you know, it's not exactly ideal, but yeah, it's still pretty good. And yeah, a lot of times, fellas, especially from like CEX and stuff, I usually buy a lot of these like horror games and just expensive games in general without the manual, because I'm not actually that bothered, and a lot of times you save yourself a ton of money. But it was just something about seeing all three games in that shop window, and I just thought, even though they've got the manual, and yes, I could have saved money getting them without manual, I just thought, nah, let's just get them. I'm just gonna do it. And you know what, lads? I don't even regret it. Okay, I'm glad I got all three of these games, providing they all work and everything, which I think they do, or I hope they do. But yeah, condition of the disc is fine, guys. There's definitely nothing wrong with that, so that should play, although I will test it out later. I should have tested it out by now. I've had it since bloody March. But yeah, Clock Tower 3 looks really cool. Never ever played Clock Tower before. I do believe this one is very different to the rest of the series. I think the other ones are like they're kind of like point and click games, you know, that they're kind of weird and unique, and I was tempted to get there's like a remake of the first one, and I was tempted to get it for my Switch. But yeah, I think Clock Tower 3 is completely different. It's more sort of traditional survival horror. I don't know if you have weapons or not. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I don't know a lot about any of these games, which makes it more exciting in a way, especially with like the horror genre. You want to go in just not knowing what you're gonna get, and you know, that makes it scarier. So yeah, Clock Tower 3 looks really cool. I think I paid 72 quid for it, so not a cheap game by any means, and yeah, looks really good. All right, boys, this next one is a heavy hitter, okay? It's a very expensive game, the most expensive game of the episode, and it is also a game that I have bought already. I've bought this game 2 times. I bought this game earlier in the year for my older brother, so I've already shown you this game, but I also bought myself a copy. Anyway, that game is going to be Forbidden Siren. So yeah, I'm really happy to be adding this one into the collection. £75 I paid for that. I think it's gone up in price. I might be wrong, but I think it's like 80 quid now. But yeah, once again, boys, the manual is in really good condition. Artwork's good. Pretty sure I did actually test this one out. I think I did. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, that is minty condition disc, so that'll definitely play, but I'm pretty sure I tested it anyway. But yeah, funnily enough, at the time of seeing all 3 of these games, I was honestly just thinking about getting both of these 2 and leaving Forbidden Siren, you know, because I bought this for my older brother like a week before buying these 3 games. And there was part of me that was like, maybe I'll just play my older brother's copy of this, you know, that I bought him for his birthday, and see if I like it and then go back for it. But the reason I did decide to pull the trigger on all 3 of them and get this one as well is it did actually come with a really cool postcard. And I thought to myself, that postcard is probably super duper rare. That's probably not overly common, so I just thought, screw it, I'm gonna get all 3. But yeah, I don't actually have that postcard anymore. I actually gave it to my older brother because I don't know, I thought he'd appreciate it more than I would. Like I said, I'm not like a mint collector. I'll happily have these games without manuals and in bad condition. I mean, I've got bloody Kuon incomplete. My older brother's not a mint collector, but he's certainly fussier than I am, so I thought I'll just give him the postcard and be nice. But yeah, anyway, long story short, boys, Forbidden Siren, it looks absolutely horrifying. This is made by some of the people that made Silent Hill, and obviously Silent Hill is my favourite horror game franchise ever, probably. Maybe Resident Evil, it's between the 2. Resident Evil or Silent Hill, you know, one way or another, Silent Hill is up there. So yeah, Forbidden Siren, I've seen the trailer for it, I've seen some gameplay. It looks really scary, so I don't know when I'm going to be playing this one. I'm going to have to grow a pair of balls and really get stuck in, but it looks fantastic, so I look forward to that. So there you have it, boys and girls. That is all of the horror games we've got today. Not a lot, like, honestly, considering how much money has gone into this video, there's not a lot here, but again, it's quality over quantity. Of all of these games, I know it sounds ridiculous, but the one that I'm really excited to play is actually the cheaper one. I can't wait to play Tormented Souls, and that is the beauty of video games. You can spend nearly £100 on a game, and, you know, the one you're excited to play is 8 quid. You know, that is what is so good about collecting to me. And that's not to say that I'm not excited to play Forbidden Siren. I most certainly am, but yeah, I'm really excited to play all of these games, in fact. So yeah, let me know in the comments, boys, if you've picked up any horror games lately. You know, it's October. Let me know some games maybe you've been playing as well, some spooky stuff. Let us know in the comments. But that's going to do it then, fellas. If you did enjoy, like the video, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Peace.